Now, the fanfare has subsided after South Africa's Rugby World Cup win, but the Springboks plan on keeping that momentum going. Justin Ford had a one-on-one with Captain Siya Kolisi about his journey and that momentous win. He joins us now live from Cape Town. So, Justin, how is Siya Kolisi actually staying motivated?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sean. You know, my opening remarks to him when he had entered the room where we spoke to him was, "Captain, how are you? How do you have so much energy?" And he said to me, "Justin, I have to." And I think he's taken it upon himself to really just be at the forefront of this momentous occasion. We saw in '95 the Springboks win, in 2007. And the question really is, you know, sort of what legacy has 1995 or 2007 left? And I feel Siya Kolisi has really taken it upon himself to really say, listen, let's not let this moment go by and be forgotten and just a distant memory, but let's keep it going. And he has plans to really ask, you know, the general South African public to really also stand by him and support this venture and to really take this momentum forward.
I honestly haven't felt it that it's died down. I still think people are excited. And I think obviously there's ways for each person to, each person has a responsibility of doing something and making sure that we find a way of using this momentum that we had, you know, on how we can make people keep on smiling, make South Africa better. And yeah, I'm also trying to find ways to do that, you know. I've been doing it, so I'm looking at doing projects to make sure that carry through that momentum and that it doesn't die out, like you say, that it just keeps on continuing and it actually changes people's lives instead of just giving them a moment of happiness.
So, Justin, let's perhaps talk about the turnaround strategy that saw the Boks go from record defeats to winning the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a sort of two-year period for the Springboks. In 2017, losing to the All Blacks 57-0 at home in Durban, and, you know, sort of it was worrying times for the Springboks, and they managed to slowly but surely turn it around. And, you know, in 2018, 7 defeats to come to 2019, where the only defeat was to the All Blacks in that opening Rugby World Cup match. And asked Siya Kolisi that as well, and sort of what was, you know, that one moment that he feels was the changing factor for them. As humble as he is, you know, there was never, his response was simply, there wasn't one particular thing that he feels is the shining light that made it all different. But there was a combination of things, you know, the background staff. I mean, we saw for the first time, I would feel that, you know, the Springboks had a dietitian. So that was a big part of it. Another part was managing their time while, you know, on national duty. And there was a gentleman by the name of Eugene Henning from the My Players Fund that was brought in to manage that. But in ultimate, you know, at the end, he had high praise for Coach Rassie Erasmus. He just feels that Rassie's honesty and vision was really taken upon by the team and the squad, and feels that Rassie really made a difference. And yes, they're hoping that despite moving out of the Springbok coach role and coaching role and going back to his director of rugby role, that he will still have a strong hand to ensure that the success carries through.
Now, for someone who comes from humble beginnings like Siya Kolisi, does he have any plans to give back to the community?
Oh, absolutely. And he, you know, often tells his story, and people know his story very well, and how, you know, from the dusty streets of Zweden, he was able to be earmarked to get a scholarship at Grey, and so, you know, just honing his talent and his skills, and eventually moving through to Cape Town, where he played for Western Province and the Stormers. And he also just knows that, you know, these other kids in that community also needs a bit of help. So he does have plans, and this is what he had to say.
We made it through whatever we had to go through, but that's not something we should be encouraging. Kids shouldn't go through that kind of stuff. I mean, there's people who've been probably in far worse background than I come from, but I'm hoping that guys like me who've been there can help make a change, can give a better opportunity so the kids have a different pathway in like where I come from. And that's what I'm trying to do, helping with my school. We're going to go now, try and build a rugby field, fix the bathrooms. I've already given in iPads for the kids, and now I want to build a computer room.
So are there actually talks about a movie about Siya Kolisi's life, maybe?
Yeah, I quizzed him about that. We will remember that in post the 1995 Rugby World Cup win, the movie Invictus was released, just highlighting that moment of the World Cup. And he was nonchalant in his response to me, and I had quizzed him. I said to him, should this happen, who would you like to see play Siya Kolisi, Rachel Kolisi, Faf de Klerk, Chetlin Colby and Makazole Mapimpi? And he was like, he didn't really think about it. It just shows that humility that Siya Kolisi holds within himself, and it was not about him. He did say that Faf de Klerk could potentially play himself based on just how he handles himself. And one thing he did say for certain is that comedian and friend of his, Siya definitely cannot play the role of Siya Kolisi. In fact, he just felt that Siya was just way too short.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Justin Ford is in Cape Town. Coming up.